Hi there, these comments are for MM, and I am Michael from OTC, OnlineTOEFLCourse.com. And you are one of my online TOEFL course students, and you're answering a TOEFL independent speaking task. The speaking prompt is: some believe that life in modern times is easier than in the past. Do you agree or disagree with this statement, right? That's the question. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and listen to your response at least twice, and I'm going to try to figure out what your score is based on the official TOEFL IBT rubrics. All right, let me get a first listen to your speaking response. Let's see how you did on this. So again, some say that it's easier to live in modern times than those in the past, right? That's kind of the topic. And do you agree or disagree with that statement?
The life in modern age is much easier than in the past because we have emails and sending messages to the families who live abroad is easier. First of all,
Okay, I like how you're just focusing on the email thing. That's probably a pretty good strategy. So a lot of students try to do too many different things during their TOEFL speaking, and they end up not being able to give enough detail. So you have a pretty good focus to your
my
ideas.
parents lived in Europe when they were young, and at that time, sending messages to my grandparents who lived in Japan was challenging. The only way they could do this was to send letters, but these letters took over 2 weeks to reach the other side of the world. However, we have emails now that are faster and more convenient than letters. I mainly communicate with my mother by email, and in no time after I send her a message, she is able to read it. To sum up, because it is easy to send messages to the family who live abroad, I think it is easier to live in modern times.
Good. Now, anybody watching this at YouTube, learn from that. That was a very good specific focus. You did not try to give too many different examples in there. I liked how you focused only around the email idea. My first impression right now is your score is probably between 3 and 4, maybe even 3.5 and 4. So I think you're pretty close to 26. That would be my estimate. Let's listen to it one more time and see if if I find any other areas that might cause you to score a little lower.
The life in modern age is much easier.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see what you just said. The life in modern.
The life in modern age is much easier than in the past.
So you might say the life in the modern age. Age. So you didn't quite pronounce that j at the very end of that word. So your intelligibility was a little bit affected.
Because we have emails and sending messages to the families who live abroad is easier. First of all, my parents lived in Europe when they were young, and at that time,
Okay.
sending messages to my grandparents who lived
Instead of saying first of all, I would probably just say, for example. It looks like you're just giving that one example, say to illustrate, or for example, and then talk about your parents.
in Japan was challenging. The only way they could do this was to send letters, but these letters took over 2 weeks to reach the other side of the world. However,
Okay, the one thing I'd like you to work on here in the delivery, looks like you have some minor difficulties with intonation, but do not affect overall intelligibility. So, but this is something that probably won't affect your score too much. But try to vary your tone a little bit more. Put some emotion into the voice.
we have emails now that are faster and more convenient than letters. I mainly communicate with my mother by
Say, therefore, I may not communicate. So maybe throw a transition word in there to help show the connection of your ideas, and that helps you with your topic development area. But still, you got good structure to your ideas. Okay, let's keep going.
email. and in no time after I send her a message, she is able to
In no
read
time.
it.
Let me
To
go
sum
back
up,
again.
I mainly communicate with
I got to check what's called subject, verb, inversion word order. If you put a negative word in the beginning of the sentence, you need to put the verb second and then the subject after that.
my mother by email, and in no time after I send her a message, she is able
So at in no time after I send the message, is she able to receive my message? So you have to put the in plus the negative word there or the negative phrase and then put the verb and then the subject. So in in no time blah 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 is she able to receive. So you didn't quite pull off the language use with that. Had you done that, that would have been very very advanced grammar. That would get you it's talking about a high degree of automaticity with good control of basic and complex structures as is appropriate. So you're almost at that level had you used that correctly.
to read it. To sum up, because it is easy to send messages to the family who live abroad, I think it is easier to live in modern times.
Okay, so what can we say here? I think overall it's a pretty good response. I'm going to stick to what I said in the beginning. Usually, my first impression is pretty good. I'm going to put you in the between the 3 and the 4 area, probably around 26 points on this. You had the one language use issue with your word order with that more advanced type structure, but other than that, you had good control, I think, over your language use, including both your grammar and your vocabulary. I think you had very clear pronunciation. No major problems. I do think you can work on improving your tone a little bit. Topic development was also pretty good. Maybe one recommendation is to consider using a few more transition words within the body of the response to help show a clear connection of ideas. But overall, I'm happy with your response here. So I'm going to put you between, say, 3.5 all the way to 4. I'm going to put you at 26 points out of 30 on this. All right, thank you.